are welcome once again. My name is Adizabella Faila, the CEO of Shamfidre Company Limited. And I want to start by telling us what Shamfidre is about. So Shamfidre, the name actually came from my siblings. I lost 3 siblings, and so I coined the name using their names, which is Shamuna, Sham, Fiz, Hafiz, and then J, Jamila. That is how come we got the Shamfidre. And if you hear Shamfidre, it's us. Okay, so under Shamfidre, we have the foundation, Shamfidre Foundation. We have Shamfidre Modeling House, and we have Shamfidre Styling. So we have activities that we do under each of these subsidiaries. For the foundation, we had a couple of activities we did, which were donations to orphanage homes, giving school uniforms to school children who couldn't afford, and we also gave
because of the sound. If the two of you can wear, so you can move it. That's what. So the two left hand. You want better sound. Yeah. It's a better. So you can wear yours, and then she will move it. Take it off. But the two gentlemen can wear theirs. You don't have. No. I think the other.
Okay. So with the Shamfidre Foundation, we did a lot of programs under it. And with the Shamfidre Modeling, we have an agency where we groom young ladies. Now we've added guys to it, and then children as well. So this came about, I personally wanted to be a model when I was growing up. But because of where I'm coming from, which is a strong Muslim background, my parents didn't allow me to be the model I want to be. So when I got to University of Ghana, about completing, and I was like, I still have that passion in me. So what can I do? And I know there are a lot of ladies too out there, people out there who want to go into fashion, they want to be models, and anything that has to do with fashion. But because of where we are coming from, the community we find ourselves, it became difficult. So I called upon some friends of mine, and then we came about with the modeling agency. We actually started with the modeling agency and the foundation, which used to be the Shamfidre Initiatives, and now Shamfidre Foundation. So we've groomed a lot of models. Some are, when they come, we've done a couple of auditions. So when they come, sometimes they want to be on the runway. They want to be, runway models. But when they come and we see them, we're like, oh no, you don't have to be on the runway. You are good with a photo shoot model. So we have them. Some of them, they come and they want to be photo models. We groom them. And that was how come we trademarked the Ghana Models Fashion Week, and which is why we are here today. So the Ghana Models Fashion Week, we actually started, we did one last 2 years, and we did a press conference like this at Alisa Hotel, and we did it on 20th July 2019. Yeah, so it was really a very great experience. That was our first time doing that. and it's supposed to be an annual event, but because of COVID last year 2020 we couldn't hold one, so we decided to do it this year, since now programs are is going on but with limited number. So this year the Ghana Models Fashion Week is that evolution of fashion. So we're talking about fashion yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The way our grandparents used to dress, when we say fashion in the olden days, is different from today, and it's going to be different as time goes on in future. So it's kind of trying to blend those old stuff. If you look at what I'm wearing now, we have style in the olden days like this, but now it's coming up. It's coming up and it's changing into a difference and more. It's being modified. Let me put it that way. It's being modified. So on the 24th of July, that is going to be the event, Ghana Models Fashion Show at Accra International Conference Center at 7 p.m. and red carpet is at 5 p.m. Before that, on Friday, we have a virtual fashion talk. Because of COVID, we are trying as much as possible to go with the flow. So that is what is going to happen, on the 12th of July. And we have Dope Nation representing. They are performing live. We have some dignitaries joining us to, make the event a great one for us. When you look at modest fashion has nothing wrong. Like the way other people we have models and we have some other commercial models. We're trying to give opportunity to other people to showcase their talent. We have designers. These designers have been hiding. Let me put it that way. They've been hiding, but they are very good when it comes to designing of costumes and fashion. But like I said earlier, because of where we are coming from, these are not allowed. But we are trying to make it in the modest way we can. Because if I wanted to be a model, what avenue have we created for the upcoming ones who want to be models and who want to go into fashion? The world is evolving. What are we doing? We have to do something.
Yeah, my name is Abu Sadiq. I'm the runway coordinator in the backstage, nitty-gritty, the nitty-gritty that has to do with what goes on in the runway. I'm in charge. So to add up to what she said, this whole Ghana Models Fashion came about through her trying to carve a niche for the upcoming ones. The question is, you want change. How do you go about change? You start by yourself. So that's how come she initiated the whole Models Fashion, and then we all came on board to help her achieve that goal. So fashion is evolving every day, but how do we bridge that gap and showcase what we have, and then make it acceptable in our Zongo communities? In this case, our ladies especially are to dress modest to redeem themselves in the face of the Creator. So we are bringing the Models Fashion on to preach about redemption and prosperity at the same time. How do we do that? a young lady from a Zongo community walks the runway, and she's paid to walk down the runway. So in this case, she's able to redeem herself in her faith, and then also gets paid to prosper in whatever she's doing. So in a small way, that's how we're also trying to help the Zongo community. Yeah. So this is the second edition, like he said. The maiden edition was 2 years ago, and this year we are trying to up the standard a little bit. And then most of the hidden designers, that have like a lot of things to offer the Zongo community, but don't have the platform to showcase what they have. This is also a platform for them also to, bridge the gap between the Zongo fashion and then, the other ones. Because when you go to when you are on social media, when it's time for Eid festivities, people are anxious about going on social media to see what style is in vogue, what our ladies are wearing, what our men are wearing. So it's safe to say that the Zongo communities, we have influence in the fashion industry. So now how do we bridge that gap between that influence and making it a commercial, what the avenue for our sisters and our brothers? So the Modest Fashion Week is also an avenue for them to come up and showcase their talent and do whatever they have to do. And we have an exhibition on that day too. So they are able to sell whatever produce they have and create an awareness. So when when you are looking for this is the person to call. So in a nutshell, that's all we have. I think I'll pass the mic to my colleague here to speak.
Hi, good morning everyone. So I'm Idris, a partner brand to Shamfis J, in charge of brand development. So for me, I would like to see all these like two perspectives. The first is I see fashion to be a tool which aids communication. If somebody walks into this room right now and they're dressed with her hijabi and everything on, they are just going to start thinking this person is a Muslim. So this movement we are trying to push, which is the modest fashion, is not just to say it's an event we are putting up. No, we are communicating to the outside world to make them understand, no, we can use what we wear to raise concerns about things that is going on with us in our communities. Like my brother said, fashion is evolving, and then everything around us is also evolving. So trying to get people dressed how they want to be addressed is something we are trying to put out there. You see Muslim girls now working in industries they never used to work. How are they going to be conform to whatever norm is in that industry? So designers coming up with ideas to give people a costume that would make them look as they want to look, and then also be in whichever industry they want to be, is something we are trying to communicate. The second thing I would want to talk about is the opportunity that comes in this space. Modest fashion is, I think, if it's not one of the biggest industry in the fashion industry in general, I think it will be next to the biggest. So we have a lot of stakeholders involved in this industry. If you look at the food chain, there are lots of people eating from this industry. We have photographers, we have designers, we have all these people in this same industry they feed from. So this opportunity is to give young creatives from communities where we come from the opportunity to monetize whatever skill they have. We have people from Zongo communities who are trying to venture into modeling, like she said, but there's no avenue to put them on, to make them highlight whatever they want to put out. There are people who are designers in the Zongo communities who would want an opportunity like this to, be able to put out all the skill they have inside of them. So this is an all-in-one event that is trying to just give everybody in this space an opportunity to do whatever skill they have to show to the world. So I think this is the bit that I would want to say, unless if anyone else wants to say something.
Yeah, so also we have some sponsors who are, really helping us because we can't do it alone. And we are still calling for partners and sponsors. They can call us on our social media handles. They can reach out to us on our social media handles as well as our contact, which is 055-779-7979, 055-779-7979, and we have 055-827-3747. And I want to give a shout out to our sponsor. We have Aladdin's Wife, we have Inus Company Limited, we have, I think I have them there. We have Ashfast Neutral, we have Afro Hawab, we have Awake TV, EBN, we have Zongolink TV, we have Giwa Ventures, Giwa, we have MSTV, we have Muslim Next Door, Aboyo Studio, and Fia Beauty Parlor. Yeah, Hydra TV. I think I mentioned it. So these are our, people supporting us. And special shout out to our photographers, Vascan Studios and Aboyo Studios. They are really, really helpful. They are really helping us a lot. And a special one to Inus Company Limited and then Giwa Ventures.
Yeah, my name is Cecilia. I'm the secretary and then PA to the CEO. I want to say a big thank you to the media houses. I was overwhelmed with the calls that were coming through from you all. And so we are really, really grateful to you and thank you for gracing the occasion. May God bless you all.
We have one other person who is supposed to join us, but he's late, and so I think if any of you have any question or anything to ask them. And thank you once again for coming. Thank you. We are so grateful.
Okay. So on 24th July, what are we expecting? What should we expect? What wow factor of the event that we should expect? For some of us who attended last edition, what will be a plus to this year's event, that we didn't see last year?
Okay, so 2 years ago was the maiden edition, and this year it's safe to say that we have learned from the little mistakes and some things that could have gone the right way that didn't. So we have improved upon the standard and then the quality of the designs that are coming on the runway. This time around, we took time to have a special team in place to scrutinize whatever the designers are bringing on board. Because if you are trying to sell out the idea that fashion is evolving and we are trying to create a revolution, then it's safe to say that we make sure that whatever is going to be on the runway is something nobody is expecting. But at the same time, it's going to be able, it falls within the modest theory. So it's going to be all on top, crazy as you guys choose to call it, but it conforms with the theory of the whole modest thing we are trying to portray. So this year is going to be bigger than 2 years ago.
All right. Modeling for somebody who is coming from a Muslim perspective and Zongo. No Muslim want to hear the word modeling per se. So far, you are doing good. What has been the, some of the response you are having from your people? Because modeling, as I said, for people from Zongo, it's no-no.
Yeah, when it comes to the Zongo community, the religion is, how do I put it, it's stiff in a way. So we are trying to bridge that gap between we want to show them that there is a way around it that doesn't go contrary to our religious beliefs. So that's what we are doing as of now. That we have even gone the extra mile to not to call ourselves hypocrites, and then with the backstage of the entire show, we have tried to separate the how do we call it, the dressing rooms, and make sure put measures in place to make sure that we are not only portraying the modest theory on the runway, but behind the curtain too. So that's how far we have gone, just to prove that we really mean what we are saying.
And when you say modeling, modeling is not, let me say, a bad word. It's not a bad word at all. It's the perception people have behind it. Because what do we see now? We see fashion shows, people go naked, they just go maybe half naked, exposing themselves. That is what we are believed. We are believed to see, made to know that, okay, so when we talk about modeling, this is modeling. So we are trying to change the narratives. That stereotype, that modeling is for indecent. And it's not, you being a model doesn't mean you have to be naked. I'm a model myself. I'm a fashionista myself. But I'm covered. Or I don't look nice. You see? So these are some of the things that we want to let the people know. This is not anything that you have to, has to come with controversies. I know that, of course, because I have been bashed so many times on social media. Hey, what are you trying to bring? This is how I am. This is what. What have you seen me doing? What am I doing? And this is not all about modeling and fashion shows and everything. We are trying to as well help the community. We are feeding people, the less privileged. We are partnering with AfroHarab to give other people the chance to explore more in their businesses. So it's not just about modeling. So when you hear modeling, it's not any, word that you have to. So that's why we are trying to change that perspective with this. Yeah. And I know there are a lot of countries doing that. We have American Modest Fashion Week. We have the Australian Modest Fashion Week. And even the last time we had Philippines, they contacted us and they want to be on board. And after this one, this fashion show, we are going international, inshallah. Amen. Because of the partners, the people who have seen our work from the previous ones and wanting to be on board. So modeling is not any,
Also, what I would want to add is I wouldn't want us to skew this down to the Muslim community. Even though this whole thing is built on the Islamic values, I feel like there are people from other religions that would also want to definitely dress in a modest way. So this is a general call. Whoever is in the world, once you have a body and you think you have a passion for modeling and you want to model in a modest way, we have an institution that grooms people in this sector to help them become whatever they want to do. Thank you.
And also, if you look at today, we have a lot of Christians who even wear their bias more than us. I have a lot of friends who buy this stuff from Dubai, Turkey, selling them, and people buy them. I have a lot of most Christian ladies that I style. I style them. They will tell me, "Hey, I don't want to go, naked. I don't want to be half naked or something. I just want you to style me the way you style." Sometimes too, it depends on the occasion. The way you dress depends on the occasion. You have to know whether you are going for a nice event, a day event, morning event, whatever. You have to know what to put on. Not just anything. These are things that we lack in, making people think you have to be this instead of that. We have a lot of them wearing that. All of us are models. We even have a couple of models who have gone to other modeling agencies wanting to be models. But the thing is, they don't allow you to be covered in their modeling agency. But we are giving you the chance to. And of course, we are not having only Muslim models. We have Christians as well. Like Syria, she was a model when she came. She is not a Muslim. But so far as you are part of Shamfis J Modeling House, you have to comply. You have to go by what the standard we've set. And that is how come we are. That's what makes us unique from the other people. And also, bringing all these dresses and costumes from outside the country. Why don't we do it here in Ghana? This is a way of, creating revenue for us. We have a good designer, like Rookie Fashion, who did this for me. We have Play Fashion, we have Unknown Apple, we have them, Zaki, we have Elikem Kumoji the tailor, who is being part of us this time around. And they are good. Why don't we patronize them? Because they have been mute and not, coming out to tell you that, okay, we can store something like this. Instead of you going to bring something from another country into Ghana, why don't we patronize our own people?
Yes, I wanted to ask you a question, my brother. In as much as there is criticism from some of Zongo, how has been the response from the Zongo community to the fashion? How has been the response from our sisters? Are they approaching it? Are they coming in for it's the Christians? Yes. How has it been?
Yeah, I think initially I made a submission that whenever it's an Eid festival, people from all walks of life become on social media to see what everybody is wearing and all that. So in response to that, 2 years ago, the maiden edition, we didn't expect to get the support and the love from the Zongo communities because there was a lot of scrutiny. But on that day, it might interest you that we sold out all the tickets and we couldn't even get space for people to even sit. So I think we have a few people who are still not comfortable with the idea, but through our education and our creating our awareness and all advocating and all that, I think eventually people are coming out of their shell and coming on board. So it's going to be a long way for us, but I think with time we are going to be able to bridge that gap. So thank you.
So I think he has said it all. That looking at what we did last year actually showed us that, oh yeah, so people are really interested in those things. It's like, maybe I should say some people are, maybe being hypocrites. Let me put it that way. You understand? We have some people. And I think this is where our sect, is giving us problems. We have Sujania, we have the Ahmadis, we have the Sunni and all those things. These are things that, it's add up to this thing to make people think that what you are doing is not good. I am a Tijaniya. We dance, we do, those things. But Sunni people don't dance. When they see me dance, they'll say, hey, it's Awam. Yeah. So these are things that, actually making the thing look so difficult. But I think from what we did last 3 years, it's really something I would say people are really looking up to us. And that's why this time around we changed the venue from Alisa Hotel to Aqua Conference Center, because over there is bigger than Alisa Hotel, and looking at the COVID-19 social distancing and all that is going to, be a problem. And even this time we had people calling for the tickets. Yeah, we have like 4 family members. They wanted a table for the family themselves. So you see how people are eager and they are ready, they are waiting. And our Eid al-Adha is going to be on 20th July, which is on Tuesday. And after that, where are we going? So people are, calling to book the ticket ahead of time. So I think, yeah, that.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. I want to find out whether this time you're going to involve the Igbo imams. Now imams, when you go to various mosques, you realize that the type of presence that comes there sometimes, it doesn't go well. I don't know whether this time you are going to involve some of the imams in order not to, in order to go, according to what actually what I do.
So I would say definitely we would have to involve the imams to seek for their blessings. But this is an outdoor event. You can't promise or tell people you are going to get this person in the auditorium on that day. They are going to be spoken to, they are going to know everything we are trying to put out, and they will know our end goal. If they come as per their own wish, that is okay, but it's an outdoor event. It's for the secular community.
Yeah, and what we are doing, the chief imam, the national chief imam knows about this. We actually went to him to seek blessing and tell him what we seek to achieve and what we want to do. So he is, I think if the national chief imam is in support of it, then who are you to?
I think last 2 years ago, Doc, he was involved. He was involved. He was involved. So I don't know whether this year, all those people are also coming involved.
We've actually sent them
an invitation letter, yes. And then he is coming this time around as well. We have that assurance from him. That is the PA, yes.
And he actually was supposed to be here, but due to one or two things, he couldn't make it. Yeah. And we have the support of the second lady. For her, let's use her as an example. The way she dressed, a lot of controversy. What is she wearing that is not nice? What is she wearing that is not nice? Even the occasion, the way she blends the things, the colors, everything. You see, it's so nice. Let's give the people the chance to live. If we have a world where people, are free to live, I think it's going to help a lot.
I want to plead with you to take pressing, like what you are doing, go far with it so that you'll be very critical on what people wear, what people take to our various mosques, on Friday, though it's a secular program though, but I'm very sure when you are able to program it properly, it will be able to serve that purpose you actually want to do.
Yeah, to add up to what you just said, initially in my previous submission, I said in our Holy Scriptures, ladies are supposed to dress in a modest way to redeem themselves to the eyes of the Creator. So this time around, they are getting paid to do that. So what better deal can you get from that? So it's one way or the other a motivation for them to, dress, because we are thinking, I'm not supposed to say this, but after this, we are thinking we are going to start an editorial whereby we award people the best dressed, if it's every Friday after mocks, all those things. So it gets them, very conscious about how they dress and they go out, because they know someone is always watching. So that's what we are trying to achieve here.
And when you look at our corporate, workplaces and all that, I'm a corporate person. This is a passion, something that I have passion. That's why I'm doing this. And when you are going to the office, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you are supposed to dress in a corporate way, like corporate. As a Muslim woman, you know that you are supposed to wear your long hijab and all that. Can you wear that to the office? No. How are you going to style that? To suit the corporate environment. That's why we have these palazzo pants. We have them, a couple of them. Like what my sister is wearing in yellow. You see, sometimes we have to know where we are going to dress according to that. You can't go to the office and wear a long dress to the office. No. So we are telling you how to style, how to, because when you come to the events, you see how designers are able to style people in different ways. Still, some, I think all the events that you want to attend. So.
Yes, sir.
Can I do a quick one?
Yeah.
I mean, for Muslims, I think it kind of maybe he doesn't know what happened at the mosque, especially on Friday.
Yeah.
On Friday, no matter how a bad Muslim one is, but when we are going to, before our Maker, it's no. We make sure that we sort ourselves. Maybe there are some few ones I see when they are going to mosque on Friday, they get it wrong. Especially the workers, the fitter, they just take their dress like that. But for our women going to mosque, even if she's a prostitute going to mosque, I mean, she's she'll cover everything. So for fashion to the mosque, I think you need to come and see. It's very beautiful.
No, I think you didn't get me clearly. What I meant was that, I'm looking at it from this different point of view. The reason being that, when you are going to mosque, you are going to worship Allah. And if you are going there, you need to go with a decent, already they go there with it.
That's it.
But you need to go with something that, will go, with it. So you can't take blue and add green or, other things. So I'm looking at the color combination.
I get where he's coming from. He's looking at the consistency and how people are going to be literate when it comes to blending the style.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay, so
You want to start?
I want to start with,
Okay, go ahead.
I want you to again stress on why you think there's a need to promote modesty, especially in Ghana. And what do you make of the fashion houses or fashion shows going on in Accra or anywhere in Ghana? Do you think they are too revealing, or why exactly do you think there's a need to promote modesty?
I think over the years we all have a preconceived idea that fashion is about revealing yourself and all sort of what have you. But what we are trying to portray here is how are you going to dress in a modest way and still look stylish. And when it comes to modesty, it's covering the entire parts of your body. How do you do that in a more stylish way? Because it has evolved to a point in time that everybody already has an idea how, when they say modesty, you are all covered. But how do you put some nitty-gritty, elements in place to make it look interesting? That is what we are trying to achieve here. Whether being a long dress or a pants and a top, how are you going to style it to make it look attractive and still fall within the modest category? You understand? So that's what we are trying to portray here. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, you've answered part of it, I guess.
Yeah, and then with the other fashion houses and then fashion show houses and what have you, they have a standard they are living up to. But we are so inclined on our modest theory. So whether it being in vogue or not, we are still standing where we are till everybody is able to accept and embrace what we are known for. When we have the show this year, and then we have only 2 people coming to the show, that doesn't stop us from still following the same theme we are all about next year. No, until people are able to embrace it and know that this year is coming to stay. So the consistency is going to come in play here. We are so keen on that.
And when you say model, I think because we are doing fashion, program, that's why we are limiting it to just the dressing. But it's how you talk, how you relate to people, how you interact with people, how you eat, how you it covers everything. So it's not just about the dressing, but because we are doing fashion, modest fashion, that's why we are right now limiting it to that, aspect. Yeah.
Okay, so apart from
so for me, I'm heavily behind this campaign because I see modest fashion to be like a communication tool. A lot of our sisters in various institutions around the country, Muslim sisters, are being left out because of how they look. You see a Muslim lady being told to drop a scalp before probably she will be allowed access to something under normal circumstances she's qualified to. So this campaign is for me, to challenge the designers to come up with creations that would help everyone in any kind of institution they find themselves, provided they want to come up looking modest but very stylish, to come up with creations to support these people, give them costumes that would make them sit in places they would wish to be and still be all covered up. So modest fashion this year, it's a communication to tell the general public that you can come out looking how you want to look, provided something has been created to make you look as such.
Okay.
And I think during the one way, we have different designers, and every designer is doing something differently. So when as they come on the one way, you have ideas of how to style certain, outfits, how to put them on the occasion. You have a lot of ideas on how to go about it when you are dressing. Even the colors. Sometimes if you are a fair person, you should know the color that match, go with you. Not any color. And any day when the sun is shining, you wear some colors and you look like, you should know what works for you. And the body, your size. You should know, okay, so this is how my breast is. This is how my, boobs, my eyes or something. This is how my head is. How am I supposed to wear something that wouldn't be revealing? You get it? So you have to know how to do all these things, because someone usually the person is wearing trousers and then the pants is drawn all over and all this. What can you do to solve that problem? It's all part of fashion. You get it?
So apart from the annual fashion show or the runway that you are, apart from the annual fashion show, the runway that you are organizing, how else are you promoting this cause? How else are you, or what other avenues are you using to promote this modesty?
Yeah, that's why I said in my initial submission that we are trying to start an editorial piece, which will, it will run. I don't know the duration which is going to run, but we are going to try and make it consistent. So every day there will be information out there that this is what is, going on. So ladies all around our Zongo communities and beyond are always going to know someone is looking. So it's going to, if the person is going to go out for a wedding, an outdooring, or whatever, or even work, they know that there are cameras around looking at them, who is going to, at the end of the day, award them with best dress and all those things. So they make sure they look their best when they go out, and in a modest way. So that's one avenue we are trying to, bring on board to make sure that there is consistency in the message we advocate.
Also, we are trying to recruit the services of influencers to help us in this campaign. So someone like Samira Bawumia, like she mentioned earlier, if dressed in a certain way, there are 1,001 people looking up to Samira Bawumia. So if we are able to get the likes of Samira Bawumia and lots of other women of class, ladies in these communities are looking up to campaigning for this cause, I'm sure we are going to get somewhere as we go along. Yeah.
And also, we have a program that I think I was the host for that program, Islam and Fashion, where I invite people who are into the fashion industry, how they are going to talk to us about modest fashion and Islam, how we are going to see the two together to achieve what we want to do. But if any of you would give us the airtime in your station to do that, we'd be very glad, because I think I used to do it with Guidance TV. We did a lot of but some of them say because of what the content and all that, I think against their
editorial policy.
So they couldn't play it. So I think we are even planning of doing it like on a YouTube or something, So I think this is also another thing to educate the people about. So it's not just about the show alone.
Okay, so on the
And the
24th,
styling too.
on the 24th, apart from the runway fashion show, what else should we expect?
Yeah, there's going to be an exhibition where it's not you don't necessarily have to be a designer to exhibit. Let's say we have this young and upcoming girls in the Zulu community that are good with the craftsmanship. You know, the beading, the sandals, the slippers, and the small clutch bag, and what have you. We give them the platform or a stand to also exhibit and put their stuff on display. So at the end of the day, whoever comes into the auditorium is able to see what they have to offer, and even go a long way in buying or purchasing whatever. So that is also a side something we are doing. Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, this question I want the CEO or anyone else could answer, but I would want your view on it. Okay, so as someone championing modesty and promoting the Islamic way of dressing and whatever, do you think the time has come where institutions and schools, organizations or whatsoever need to allow us females to cover our heads?
Yes.
Do you think the time has come, and what do you have to say to some institutions who are still failing to accept this?
Yes, they have to. That is why I made mention of they have to let us live. You understand? And I made mention of how you dress. If you are Muslim, how are you going to dress to the office? Certain places. If you are going for an interview as a Muslim, how are you going to dress to that to be accepted? You get it? Sometimes I blame my sisters sometimes because you know that you are going for an interview. You go and dress in a way. I mean, even if you don't know how to do it, Google. There is so much information online. You can read. How are you supposed to do, dress to these places or something? I think time has come for people to accept, all institutions, to accept us the way we are. And our sisters will have to make extra, efforts to dress according to, so that nobody will tell you that, hey, because you are wearing your hijab. Even the hijab, how you style it. It's also, something you have to put into consideration. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with your question, I want to do a follow-up on it. The only answer to your question is consistency. Like initially when she said that they used to have this show that they air and talk about role models, whatever. But they weren't having airplay because of content. So it's all about consistency. It will take time for people to accept. That you can't take away from them. Individual difference, individual preference. But what do? You have to be consistent. Make sure you put that message across every little chance you get with advocacy and what have you. And with time, they are going to embrace it. Critical example is when you are, driving. There are some secular music you don't even think you even listen to. But it's always on the the radio station. It's whenever you're in traffic, that's what. So you get to your house and you end up even miming or singing to it without even knowing. So it's all about consistency. So we are trying here to be consistent in our approach. Whatever we are going to do, we are. Even this year, we had like some few roadblocks, but because of consistency, we decided not to give up and persevere.
Anyone?
Okay, so I think I want to put this out. You see, our Muslim sisters, it's time for them to be bold. They have to be confident. And if you have a job, like you are going to work and you want people to see you or know you for a particular thing, do that and let them accept you the way you are. You can't go for an interview with your hair, there you style your hair as a Muslim, and then the next day when you are leaving the job and you start the job, you are now going to start your hijab and your veil. What are you speaking to them? What are you telling them? So be bold to go with your hijab. Be bold. If they deny you, go home and try again. Keep trying. Because some of us, I think we get the problems to ourselves. We cause it. Because you go for an interview with your hair like that, the next morning you want them to accept you the way you dress. No. In my office like this, I'm the only person who veils. And the moment I enter the office, hey, fashionista, these are, let them be attracted to whatever you are wearing. Whatever you are wearing is like you said, it's a communication. Communicate well. Your colors, the style, everything, and how you even style it. So speak. Let your dressing speak. Do you understand?
So any more questions? Do you have a question?
I would love to do an interview.
The rest of the interview.
Oh, you want to do an interview?
Yeah.
If there is no questions, then I think everybody's.
Who dignitaries have been invited to bring the fashion?
The dignitaries.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a surprise, let me see, special guest. Yeah, it's a surprise, so until that day. But we have some other, dignitaries that we are expecting, like Abbas Giwa, we are expecting Abdul Salam Afo-Awab, we are expecting Alhaji Saleh Yunusa, these are people we are expecting, but the other one is a surprise, so we will not say it.
For sure, I just Samira will be coming.
Oh no, that we can't confirm nor deny. So.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning. I'm sorry for the lateness. All I would like to put out there is pretty simple. So all I would like to put out there is pretty simple. We are living in a world which is moving forward and fashion is evolving. And for us Muslim sisters and Muslim ladies to be able to stick in the world and also move forward with the world, we would have to find a way to put our sense of fashion according to Islam in the right way. So if you are a lady and then you want to maybe do anything, there is this thing that goes that dress according to how you want to be addressed. So if you are going somewhere and then you are saying you are a Muslim sister and you want them to understand you, you can't go to maybe a dinner with a full jalbab or a full just habaya. You have to dress according to where you are going to make a statement. So if you are going to a dinner, you have to find a way to make your dress Islamically fashionable. So you state a statement for them to respect you. You can't go to a morning brunch with that abaya you are also wearing. So modest fashion is simply we trying to push the fact that you can still be Islamically fashionable. You can still cover up and still look good in the eyes of others. So that maybe you're on the field as an engineer, you can still dress modestly and still be safe with the dress, like your GS and all. You don't have to maybe show your body, but then you can still look good in the Islamical way. So you don't have to expose yourself to get the exposure you want. You can still do everything you are doing according to the Quran. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
And yeah, before we go, sorry, I want to draw your attention to something. I don't know whether you noticed that lately you realize that we have this political dresses for ministers. You know, now they have a particular category of style of dressing. I don't know whether you take a critical look at that now. Realize that you no longer see the suits we used to know. Now, by the African style, but it comes in particular. Kaftan. Yes, kaftan. You know, in particular, you know. So you realize that when you see the blue, deep blue style, you notice that this person might be coming from Jubilee House, or might be, you know, might be a political, you know, something. So I don't know whether you take a chance upon that, you know, so that during this launch and program, you showcase something of that sort to draw their attention to that.
I think with that, I don't know if any of you could recall, there was a time in the fashion industry where they were advocating for this Friday wear. Yeah. So it was around that time. And then the ministers felt like they had to lead with an example. And most of them at that time, cabinet ministers, were Muslims. How do they, you know, lead by example? They can't, put a message out there, and then they are living a different, you know. So that's how come most of them started with the kaftan, and with time it has evolved. And like you said, the blue color. Even in the corporate industry, we have something we call the blue collar jobs. So I think that is where the Vogue, sea blue, and the shades of cobalt blue and all that came about. So I don't know if your question is answered.
Well, what I'm saying is that I think you should just capitalize on that. Make sure you draw their attention, get them involved in whatever you are doing, so that you'll be able to go.
Yeah, all of them, we try, the ones we have access to, we have tried to solicit their assistance and tried our possible best to get advice and, you know, what happened from them. And most of the designs that are going to come on the runway, some of them are in that same line. But there will be a little bit of adaptation because, you know, as we see, fashion is evolving. We can't continuously put the same thing out there. I think whatever you see them wearing, you have seen it a couple of times. So what makes it special if we are going to put that same thing on the runway without any adaptation? So I will implore you to try your possible best to be there and see the adaptations our designers are doing.
Okay, thank you.
And I personally am styling 2 big men, but I don't post them or nobody knows or something. Sometimes I just let a person, you know, I have designers that I work with, so I know that, okay, this designer is good when it comes to trousers and that. This is good when it comes to skirts, this is good at this. So sometimes, depending on where they are going, so I can tell them, okay, so we are to do and make a dress or something for this person or that person. And I've started a couple of people too. I have styled myself actually on my wedding day. So when they come, we can style them as well.